Don't you hate it when you're just trying to take a nap and the rest of the world won't let you? Well, the same could be said of Armadon, whose only reason for fighting is to make everyone else keep it down long enough to get back to sleep, even if it kills them. I'm Tom from Mystery Game Fight Club, and this is How to Rage, the Primal Rage tutorial. Today, we will make them regret waking the sleeping giant. You see this guy right here? This is Old Reliable. Armadon does not top the charts in any particular category, but what he does do is get the job done. Armadon is a well-rounded, no-nonsense fighter with effortless counterattacks and an answer for most situations. It's this jack-of-all-trades, master-of-none approach that allows him to be an imposing defender and consistent damage dealer. Generally speaking, Armadon can get around if he has to, but is not well suited to long-range battles or chasing others around the arena. And it can put him at risk if he gets too eager. Instead, it's a good idea to be the one in control. Keep a short leash on those with a long-range advantage, or steer clear of the brawlers. Armadon is a solid choice for anyone looking to keep their opponents pinned. With Armadon, we are less worried about getting that first hit, and more concerned with making sure his opponents don't get theirs. Standing and crouching 1 are reasonably fast, or at least fast enough to force most to defend against it. Crouching 3 is interesting because it counts as an overhead. It's a good option to put out there if someone has a habit of blocking low. From the air, jumping 2 is what you'll want when you're off the ground for almost any reason. You might prefer to use jumping 3 against shorter opponents, but that's about it. Jumping 4 has tremendous range and hits high. Combined with a super jump, you can slap someone across the face from full screen.
From downtown!
Standing and crouching 2 are what I call the no button. Crouching 2 is your all-purpose anti-air, and standing 2 counters charging attacks. If you want to stop just about anything cold, all you have to do is push this one button. It's amazing.
Rage.
Real quick, before we get into the finer details, I am covering Armadon on the arcade version of the game. Some testing will be required to verify the advice you see here applies to your port of choice. In particular, watch for the launch angle of Mega Charge and whether or not Bed o' Nails is anti-projectile. So just keep all that in mind as we move forward. Armadon specials cover a wide range of use cases, and is likely you will find yourself using all of them at some point. Tail spikes are Armadon's projectile special. Hold 2+4 and press back, then up. They're spikes, they come from his tail, and there's not much else to it. Highly telegraphed and not likely to hit, but is reasonably safe from range. Bed o' Nails is more useful than it might appear. It functions as both an anti-air special and allows projectiles to pass through. Hold 2+3 and press down, then up. Continue to hold 2+3 for some extra coverage. It's vulnerable to low attacks and long-range normals, but it's a great tool otherwise. The Hornication Uppercut is close range, but extends far into the air. Hold 1, 2, and 3, and rotate from down forward to up forward. This is primarily a combo ender since we already have much better options for anti-air. A small Easter egg is that when you do the special to end combos, streakers will run across the field. Get it? Hornication Uppercut? Anyway. The Iron Maiden sends Armadon leaping towards his opponent and pinning them to the ground. Hold 2+3 and rotate from back to up to forward. It's a devastating attack if it lands, but more importantly, it homes in on your opponent's position. However, even among the pouncing specials, it's one of the easiest to spot. You can see this thing coming. But when used judiciously, it allows Armadon to punish projectiles or close distance. The Gut Gouger is a throw, and like all throws, is an unblockable move. Hold 1, 2, and 3 and press forward, then back. If you attempt to throw while your opponent is already in block stun, the move will fail with no cheese. Spinning Death sends Armadon rolling across the ground at high speed, and if it hits, it will not only cause a knockdown, but send them flying across the screen. Hold 1+4 and press back, forward, down. This is primarily a combo ender or a juggle, but after a knockdown, it can also be used as a tool to quickly create some distance. And speaking of juggles, Mega Charge is a launcher that sends his opponents into the air, primed for up to 2 additional juggle hits. Hold 1+3 and rotate back to down to forward. Technically speaking, this is also a combo ender, but it's an important special that should be included in every combo. Yes, every single one. It's the only way to guarantee higher amounts of combo damage, and gives you a great deal of control over your next move. But more on that later. Finally, to chomp a human worshipper, hold all 4 buttons and rotate from up to forward to down. You'll notice this is the same animation as Crouching 3, and in fact, you can eat worshippers this way, but it won't gain nearly as much health. Nice try. After your adversaries have been thoroughly stopped, squashed, and pummeled, there are 3 different finishing moves to put a cap on the fight. Hold all 4 buttons and press forward, down, back, forward, forward. Armadon uses his spikes to electrocute his unfortunate foe until they collapse into ash. Hold 1, 2, and 3, then press down 4 times, and then up. Armadon uses his horn to brutally tear open and toss innards out of his former opponent. Lastly, hold all 4 buttons and press down, back, up, down. Armadon launches a volley of spikes that return to Earth, impaling his victim. Due to Armadon's lack of extensions, his combos start to look the same after a while. Throw in a few normal hits, Mega Charge, juggle, and that's kind of it. However, this familiar rhythm allows you to focus more on the strategy. Juggling your opponents in specific ways allows you to manipulate them, whether that means keeping them within arm's reach or all the way across the screen. Most of his combos top out around 9 hits, but if you want to go all the way to the maximum of 20, it will require specific circumstances and great effort. Nevertheless, it can be done. Now then, instead of learning how to start combos, we will first learn how to finish them. Once you learn how to juggle with Armadon, you will be able to deal damage much more consistently. All of them will begin with Mega Charge and at mid-screen. So let's start off with some juggles using normals. This first one juggles with a standing low power. It's a juggle that works universally, and against some fighters, you are able to follow it up with a crouching high power. Unless you want to do something fancy, Blizzard cannot be juggled with 2 normal hits mid-screen, so we'll just have to settle for the 1 extra hit for now. Next, let's throw in a Hornication Uppercut after standing low power. As an anti-air, we can counter with high power and standing low power, then crouching high power after landing. Spinning Death is our one-stop shop for when you want them to just go away. The special is compatible with most normals and will hit universally, so the road you took to get here is less important. It's also possible to juggle using the tail spikes, but it won't toss them as far. As we move into the corner, the attacks we use matter a lot less, so feel free to play around with whatever suits your fancy. Lastly, this is just a flex, but it's possible to juggle with Meadow Nails. Spacing is crucial, and the way you do it is character specific, but it looks so good when it hits. So do we have a good grasp of juggling now? Good, because now it's time to start bringing things together. It's reasonably common to start on the ground with 2, then high power before juggling. It's a good way to hit confirm your attack string before using the Mega Charge, which would otherwise be unsafe on block. By a similar token, starting off from the air with 2 high power, and then 2 high power again when back on the ground, gives you more time to register that your attacks have landed. Or not. It's possible to do 4 hits from a standing position, though it's a little specific. You can double up 2 high power against Chaos, Vertigo, and Talon, but not the rest. For those characters, you can use 2 low power, 2 high power against Blizzard, Diablo, and Sauron. Armadon needs a jump in first. Add this 4-hit string to a jump in, finish with juggles, and you have a 9-hit combo that approaches 50% damage with little effort. A 9-hitter that works on mostly everyone is to start off from the air, then 2 high power, 2 crouching low power, Mega Charge, and juggle. It's rather difficult, but you can add a second normal jump to extend up to 11 hits, though again, I don't recommend it in a live match, given that you need to hit very deep into the first jump to pull it off. If you want to go for the horniest mid-screen combo possible, then do 2 normal jumps forward with 2 high power, standing 2 high power, crouching 2 high power, Mega Charge, 1 more crouching high power, and Hornication Uppercut. Now, if you want to go all the way to 20 hits, the only character this works on is Sauron, and no one else. Armadon's jump cancels will not reach the other characters, even Blizzard. But Sauron is just tall and broad enough. In other words, it's a bad day to be a T-Rex. First, a reminder. To do a jump cancel, we perform a neutral tiger jump motion after any normal hit. So that's forward or back, down, and then up. Armadon will perform a short hop straight into the air. This will take some practice, so don't be discouraged if you can't get it right away. I needed a few tries myself. Ready? Step 1 is to start from crouching 2 and to jump cancel. That's the first hurdle. After the jump cancel, add 2 high power. Then on landing, add 2 low power, 2 high power. Repeat this cycle to bring us to 13 hits. Then, we jump cancel for the final time and use 2 low power before landing with another 2 low power for 17. Now here's the fun part. We get to choose how we juggle these last few hits. If you're going for swag, juggle with crouching 2 or high power and Beto nails. Or you can crouch with 2 or high power and end on Hornication uppercut. For the most damage, you can end on standing high power and spinning death. No matter how you got here, that's a 20-hit combo, and a difficult one at that. Congratulations. You might be able to start off this combo a bit differently, such as from the air like Hanzo was doing in this clip. But once you get going, it's mostly the same. It's a shame this doesn't work on anyone else, but it still feels great when you pull it off. I don't know about you, but after all that, I think I'm about ready to crawl back into my own cave for a nap. But for now, I have been Tom from Mystery Game Fight Club, and this is How to Rage, the Primal Rage tutorial.